Hey, I hope you're all good. 'Cause I'm great. We're back. It's Monday. So I am gonna work on some more creative stuff. It's gonna be good. I hope, at least. That's the plan in any event. It's still the conlang for now. I know I want to, at one point, switch over to working on some of the musical stuff that I have been doing also, but I'll have to come at some other time. So it's just this for now. It's gonna be good. I believe. I believe. I believe. Oh. The fuck happened there? Well, hello. I didn't stream this weekend. Is there a reason for that? No, it didn't feel like it. Ugh. Oh my god. I am tired. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So we're having this creation story, right? And we were in the middle of creation and deaths. No, life and deaths moment where they where they sit together and talk about the problems that they have or the things that they have seen and noticed about this world. Now we come to the point where Death discusses that he doesn't want creatures to feel sadness, and Life discusses how she doesn't feel the life that comes from other life is the same or is not the same as the life that comes from creation, which is I wouldn't say the mother of all things because that's all, but creation is certainly the first to like shape the land, as it were. Basically, the idea is when something gives birth, it's like a cow giving birth to a calf. If that calf doesn't grow, then it keeps being a calf, and then you have a swarm of calves, but no cows, right? So we want to introduce growth into this world. That's what Life wants to bring into the world. Death wants to bring, it's funny enough, Death wants to bring pain into the world to discourage creatures from doing dumb things such that they don't die. It's basically the whole gist of what they want to do and what they want to have happen into this world. And that's what they are going to discuss now. So, okay, and so Life and Death met as they so often did to share what they had seen and what they thought about it. That's where we are. That's what we're doing. Oh shit, not italic. So. What they thought about it. Death began. Began. He told Life what he had seen. The moving the living throwing throwing. Here. Throwing their life and joy away. Wandering into swamps they could not tread climbing hills, they could not scale. Eating food they could not digest. All aware. Aware, as if a force were compelling them to die. Or if noted, she saw life as that force. That made things move to new places. Sometimes with consequences, but always with will. She could not say the same about herself. For changing. Okay. For the life that sprang from life did not change. A cow that like... No, I don't know cow. Wow. Cow. A calf? Or a calf. Or calf. A cup or a cup. A seed or food. Forever. Things things she made never changed unless they died. Death noted. They never have what creation made did not change either before destruction or I. Death came into being. That's with C. Big letter on that. Hello, viewer or lurker or whatever. What creation did not change either before destruction or death came into being. They were unmoving before life gave them joy. And will. They have now the life to move. change. And life looked again at the moving. And life looked again at the moving. Let's have life looked again at the moving. Da, 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 da. How and where they moved. How they changed. They bruised. That's not how you spell it. Bruised. Bruised. What terminology do I use here? Yeah, I have feel here. That's maybe I should have feel as this word. And then movement should be the all. Feel question mark? Move question mark? Yep, 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 yep. And she saw it and knew. And she knew. And a voice started, that's what I see. I started resonating in her mind. What to ascribe to what, though? They moved. How they changed. When they changed. And to what changed. Moved. How they changed, when they changed, and to what they changed. And she saw it, and she knew, and a voice started resonating in her mind. I'm just gonna write it. I can always, like, edit descriptor words. You see that? They turning. They are moving. If they always did that. And if they surely did that. What if outside forces didn't have to make them do that? If they changed on their own. What if? Let's just. Or if they changed on their own. Did you see that? They're turning, they are moving. What if they always did that? What if they naturally did that? What if outside forces didn't have to make them do that? Or what if they changed on their own? Or died on their own? What if? Yeah. Yeah. I love writing in that voice. Oh, must feel so satisfying though. It feels so satisfying to write that entire block of questions. It just ties everything together. It's I love it. She answer. I can't spell. Whatever. Oh wait. Also out with the italic. Let's just read it all through again. I want to have it in my brain, like mixing. Okay. And they saw the world and their place within it, their movers, creation and destruction, and their roles in this world. They had made. Boom. Life found herself in every corner of the moving. When a new being needed to move, she would give it the will and power to do so. In this, she was joy. Yeah. In this, she was joy. And she wandered amongst the moving and saw their joy and joined them in it. But there was not joy forever. Because while new beings were born and started moving, life saw they were not what creation had made them to be. Life wondered why. Why did the things that came from her not look like the things that came from creation? Whereas life moved amongst the moving, death moved instead amongst the true, or soon to be, unmoving. With every step, another being moved closer to death. And in this, he was sadness. He tried to lessen the sadness by being quick. But just as the life of one meant the death of another, so too did the joy of one mean the sadness of another. And death knew, but he did not like it. Death wondered why. Why did some have to die in sadness, just so others could live in joy? And so, life and death met, as they so often did, to share what they have seen and what they thought about it. Death began. He told life what he had seen, the living throwing their life and joy away, wandering into swamps they could not tread, climbing hills they could not scale, eating food they could not digest, all unaware, as if a force were compelling them to die. Life noted. She saw death as that force. Wow. Death as that force. The force that made things move to new places, sometimes with consequences, but always changing. She could not say the same about herself, for the life that sprang from life did not change. A calf was a calf, a cup were a cup, a seed were a seed, forever. Things she made never changed, unless they died. Death noted, they never have. What creation made did not change either, before destruction of death came into being. They were unmoving before life gave them joy. They have now the life to move. Why should they not have the life to change? Life looked again at the moving. how and where they moved, how they changed, when they changed, and to what they changed. And she saw it, and she knew, and a voice started resonating in her mind. Did you see that? They're turning. They are moving. What if they always did that? What if they naturally did that? What if outside forces didn't have to make them do that? What if they changed on their own? Or died on their own? What if? Yeah. And life saw the change changed. And life saw the change changed. From life to death. Now from death to life. To death. Now from life to more life. No, no, no. Calves she made eat. She made eat. The cheese she made the trees she made drink. I think I need to look at that. Because basically, the problem child in the first part here, right, were disease. Creation created disease and thus caused the problem that death had, or that destruction had to deal with. Right, creation spawned disease and therefore death, which destruction had to create life to counteract. Or had to give the idea about death or about life so that life could counteract death and they could live in harmony, right? So what we do here is that or what I want to happen here is that I want to It was not something I originally wanted. In one of my old recordings, which I haven't uploaded yet, and I probably should. I talk about how I didn't want famine to be a part of this world, but maybe I do though. Maybe I do. I just didn't want the famine to be created by death. I wanted the famine to be a byproduct of something life created. So, life may create growth. And that may... Also, I need to add something out here before I forget it. Fear. Yeah. Because life may create growth, but she hasn't created any restraints for that growth. So everything just starts cannibalizing each other. And like, that's what I want, basically. I want the... Sounds so misogynistic when I say it, but like, all of these states I have attributed to female. And basically, I want the female part to create all the problems. Oh, that's so bad. Oh. Oh. Oh my god, against such a misogynistic outlook. It's a creation story, though. It's a creation story, so, you know, the gender roles hasn't been created yet. I haven't created him and her. I have mentioned, or I have used the word for he and she, but I haven't created him or her yet. I haven't created that setup, that differentiation yet. There's a bit of an excuse. War. Between him and her, there are war, which creates groups and individuals. What? What? Oh, he's a fucking genius! Oh! 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 Because, like, famine is such a natural thing to introduce in this case when you're talking about growth in that sense. Basically, I want life to create growth, uncontrolled growth, which leads to more creatures eating, which means to more creatures dying, which leads to, well, creatures are also eating things they shouldn't eat and dying because they're eating things they shouldn't eat. Also growing, so there is, like, they can also withstand some of that pain, but like, or withstand some of the negative implications of eating things they shouldn't eat. However, it's like creating a super mutant, right? You create a being that eats, and everything it can't eat, it learns how to eat. And then eventually you have a being that can eat literally anything. That's why curiosity is such a powerhouse. That's why idea. Okay. I just had an idea. Basically, curiosity is an is a. You can't even see that over here. Here. Curiosity is a bad thing because. Actually, I can put myself up here in the corner instead. There's nothing up there of importance, so. Okay. Curiosity is such a powerful entity because he keeps asking the questions. At some point, he starts asking, what if that hadn't happened? What if that hadn't happened? What if they hadn't done this thing or that thing? And basically, curiosity if curiosity gets a hold of the power of creation, he starts creating all the bad things that would have gone to their extremes had someone not intervened. Like, basically, at that point, curiosity becomes the thing that spawns hellish creatures that can eat anything, diseases that can literally wipe out entire planets, wars that are like devastating. He'd create beasts, monsters, monstrosities, and all kinds. I should go back and I should change in this first story. I should this I should change, or at least I should change that part. That part right there. And we mention it later on. Right? Goat in the flesh. Nope, it's just that first mention that I need to fix. Because at that point, I want the horrors of this world to not be created directly by the beings who are able to create them, but more as a byproduct of the creation process. Yeah, more as a byproduct of the creation process. And then when curiosity finally comes around to being a thing, not just a voice in their head that drives this world in some form of or another, then, and only then, does he, or does it, I don't really know, unfold, so to speak. Starts asking, gets the creative spark, gets the power of creation and starts manifesting all of these horrors that could have come had someone not intervened in all of that. That's what I want. I want the terrors of the world that is built to be accidental up until the point curiosity makes them a thing. That's what I want. That's... It's hard to create an entire world and like creation story and shit. You have no fucking idea, man. It's so fucking hard. Okay. The cow she may eat, the tree she may drink. Drink. And all of the moving joined in the feast. And they started changing. Also, there is one more passage. This one. That needs changed. And all the moving joined at the feast. Whatever. Whatever. And they started changing. The the seed she may drink. The calf became the cow. The seed became the tree. And they started growing. Now we introduce the word. Now we introduce the world of growing. Now we introduce the word growing. Yeah. The calf became the cow. The seed became the tree. And all the moving followed suit. It's fine. Words and whatnot. And all of the moving followed suit. And all the moving followed suit. had a word that I didn't speaking out loud, and that was dumb because I didn't speak it out because unfortunately I thought I would remember it, but I don't remember such things. At least not if I haven't thought about them for like long amounts of time. That was why I wrote down fear here. Because I had a word I wanted to go together with growth that I have now forgotten, which I am a bit sad that I forgot because it was probably a word that I could have used right about now. And it sucks. It made you buzz. Oh, 2 viewers. Hey. Name spread. I'm creating the creation story of a world with a fictional language and the entire world behind it, though I might shelf the project once I am done with the creation story itself. It's like in 7 parts? 7-part creation story? It's pretty long. Pretty long. God. Ask questions if you have any, or if you're interested in learning more. I'm always up for answering. The can became the cow, the seed became the tree, and all the moving followed suit. But as more beings like what I need to happen now is that all of the things are eating now, and they're growing now. They're giving birth to more things that are eating. At some point, we're gonna cause a famine. But I don't want to like immediately state that we have a famine. I want it to be like a build-up like we had in part 1. Where it's like, here, for example. The disease spread from flea to goat, from goat to plant, from plant to tree, from tree to leaf, from leaf to wind, from wind to sea, from sea to earth, over and over. Basically, what happens is this being comes up with the idea of things being able to destroy themselves and others. And so she creates fire, then fleas, then disease, and then shit starts going down. And I want a slow build up for this as well. I don't want it to just be boom, famine. But I don't know how to build it up though. That's the problem. Like that. freeze. And all the life that were once incomplete grew to be what creation had made them to be. Complete grew to be what creation had made them to be. Yes. But as small beings began growing more beings began living. Began moving. Began living and thus moving. And as they moved closer to death. We have that up here. Did we not? There is step another being closer to death. Yeah, I have that above as well. Yeah. No smoothing. And as they moved closer to death. And death could not bear it. Right. Thing there were more death now than ever. Than ever. Now than ever. And death could not bear. What? death could not bear it. For soon there were death now than ever. There were more death now than ever, with for to feed all the living, all the living had to die. For to feed all the living had to die. And soon the living would have nothing more to eat. Soon there would be famine. Yeah. The cows became the cow, the seed became the tree, and all the life that were once incomplete grew to what creation had made them to be. But as more beings began growing, more beings began living and thus moving. And as they moved closer to death. There were more death now than ever, and death could not bear it. For to feed all the living had to die. And soon the living would have nothing more to eat. Soon there would be famine. And the living that would have died grew to resist death, unaware where death had been looming. And soon the living would have nothing more to eat. Soon there would be famine. To resist the death, unaware that death had been looming. Yeah. Soon there would be famine. But the beings that died in sadness. Their growth killing them from the inside. And death saw, and he knew, and a voice started resonating in his mind. Yeah, now we're here again. This probably needs to be fleshed out a bit. For to feed all the living had to die. And the living that would have died, no, that should have died, thing that should have died grew to resist the death, unaware that death had been looming, and soon the living would have nothing more to eat. And the beings that did die in sadness. That growth killing them from the inside. And death saw and he knew, and a voice started resonating in his mind. Did you see that? Did you see that? turning. They are moving. Bing. Sadness could guide them. What if their death could guide others? What if they felt death before they died? Or as thing that would kill them. What if? And so death did something he had never done before. Where he had once reacted to the call of sadness. Now he moved before the death. The sadness. The beings that would kill started emanating death. Being rounded reach out, had once reached out to the call of sadness. Now he moved before sadness, and the beings that would kill started emanating death, and the beings around them started to fear. Now, the concept of fear in the state of pain. Did not curd. He had never done before. Where he had once reacted to the call of sadness. Now he moved before sadness, and the beings that would kill started emanating death, and the beings around them started to fear. And in their fear, they fled. Fled. And in their fear, they fled. But the fan persisted. But the famine persisted. For though some could no longer for now basically, now I've dealt with carnivores eating herbivores, or mass eating herbivores, at least. I might have to sit down and like get an overview of the different steps in this process, because the story here is kind of muddy in comparison to the first one I made, which was relatively much more simple. The part 2 is just... The part 2 is yucky. The part 2 is what I'd call yucky. And I don't much like that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to visit this at some other time. And in the meantime, thank you to the people who did stop by, though you walk on now, but thank you anyway. I probably need to upload these videos that I do create on the basis of this, because I think there's a lot to gain from it, for me and for anyone who comes by. So yeah, I'm gonna be ending. Thanks for stepping by.